Amen.
Amen.
Now, I have to first, before I talk about what's going on in the city, you know, my mama was here. She would smack my bald head. It wasn't balding before she left, you know, rather. I had hair. But now it's bald. I preached the funeral with long hair.
With long hair.
But next thing I know, right after, I guess I must have been worried about something, because my head started getting bald in the middle. I looked like Pinocchio, you know, like a clown, you know, the big thing in the middle, the hair on the other side. So I decided to cut the hair. And God inspired me, said, well, you just go ahead and cut it, son. Everything will be all right. You got a round head, and you look better anyway with your hair bald. You know, you don't like to comb your hair anyway. I sure didn't like to comb it, because I didn't like to comb it. But then I say this right here today. I guess you would knock me upside my head if I didn't say happy Mama's Day to all the mamas.
That's right.
All the mamas, boy.
Wasn't for them, we wouldn't
Ooh, you know, I remember my mama, Reverend Brenda. You know, she would cook that food, and when I was a little boy, I started at 10 o'clock on a low flame and cook it till 5. You know, at 5 o'clock, the tops of the pots was just starting to humming. You understand?
When
you know,
started to rattle a little.
yeah, a little rattle. I was 4 or 5 years old, and she would make some biscuits. I didn't have store-bought biscuits, you know. I mean, my the biscuit would come up and express itself in its own head.
Reverend, I haven't eaten anything all day. You ain't right.
Lord, I tell you, I long for that meal. I long for that meal,
Yes,
boy.
Yes, sir.
I was so taken by the meal and the energy that I would get. I didn't even know. I said, Mama, I'll never forget. I was going to church now, but I was a little boy, little kid. You know, I didn't know.
But they made us go.
Yeah, they made it. You had to go.
You had to go.
You had to go. And I'll never forget, I come in the house one day after eating the beans and rice that Mama prepared with the oxtail in it. And it was so good, and I guess I was easy to be convinced. I said, are you God, Mama? I did not know. And she looked, the way she took care, I had no idea. I thought, one must be God. She cooked, clean, and fix things, and help me and with the schooling. And I was a little boy. I didn't know. And she looked, she said, no, son, I'm not God. I'm a servant.
That's right.
And I'm here to help you along the way. Thank God for that woman, because she steered me. She steered me from darkness and everything, and steered me to the light.
That's right.
She would have walked through hell with a gasoline jacket on leaking to pull me out had I failed. Oh, Lord, I miss Mama. And I want to say this right here to all the mamas in the community and all around the town, all around the world, because Harvey's all over the world, you know. Happy Mama's Day. But now we got to get down to business. And I want to say happy Mama's Day to Brenda Gilbert here. And will I be out of party if I said happy Mama's Day to Kiana? Not yet. Not yet. She's not Mama yet. Mama in the way, in the working. One day, Mama will come. Well, now, I'm going to let Reverend Branch lead here, and they went down to Trenton to talk about the hospital, the Muhlenberg Hospital. Reverend, introduce yourself, and you know, and because you know we was at the meeting together Tuesday night. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yes,
Tuesday night. Tuesday night. Here in Plainfield High School and everything. So tell us what went on. I wasn't there. Come on.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize for those who, well, not so much apologize, because I don't feel what I did needed to be apologized for. But I want to thank those who stood up in support of me in my attempts to speak to the committee. At the time, they only had, they said that we had enough time for 5 people to speak, and 2 of the people didn't show up. So at that time, I took the opportunity to try to speak. And they forced me to not delete the mic. But regardless, moving right along, today, while we took 2 busloads down to Trenton, one of the congressmen said, how are we to determine which hospitals we can afford to close? And the commissioner said, okay, the goal is to reduce the stress of access of service. And they referred back to the Reinhardt report. And, you know, in relationship to which hospitals that they could close, and one of the specific needs that we can, and then, excuse me, they spoke of Muhlenberg Hospital, and as one of those hospitals that we can afford to close, and then they referred to, I can't speak specifically, which in my opinion was nothing but another soft shoe song and dance. Ginger Roger and Fred Astaire couldn't have did a better job than what they did today.
Sure, sure.
But since we have Brenda Gilbert here in the studio, she would be the most knowledgeable person to somewhat elaborate to her experience to the what the Reinhardt report is concerning. And so at this point, I'd like to ask Brenda Gilbert to elaborate for the audience just what is the Reinhardt report.
Thank you, Reverend Brand. First of all, let me say good afternoon to each and every one of you. Before I go into that, let me thank each and every person who came out on Tuesday night. That was the largest public meeting they have had of any hospital that's been closing. I think they said the largest attendance at any public meeting prior to Tuesday night had been 9 people in attendance. So that when we had our public meeting on Tuesday night, I'm sure it blew them out the water. And I want to clarify something because we're getting all kinds of different numbers. Hear this and hear it very clear. Downstairs in Plainfield High School auditorium, it held 1,000 people. The balcony held 500 people. So every seat was taken, which meant there were 1,500 people in that auditorium, not counting those who stood around the wall. So Plainfield and surrounding areas and people who came in support, I just want you to applaud yourselves for the attendance that you gave on Tuesday night at that public meeting. And for those who spoke, kudos to you. Kudos to you because, I mean, you just did a marvelous job. It made those of us who have been in this struggle, along with Steve and Larry, the People's Organization for Progress, those of us who have joined in with them, it just made our hearts proud. It let us know that we were not working in vain. So I can't say thank you enough. I can't tell you how overjoyed we were. I cannot tell you how glad we feel that, you're listening. You're listening. You're hearing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. To come back to the Reinhardt report, what the Reinhardt report was basically a report that was done by the state to determine which hospitals were delivering the essential services. Oddly enough, Muhlenberg Hospital had been included in that report as one of the hospitals that was giving the essential services. Somewhere along the line, the requirements changed, and they then included the hospitals who provided the essential services along with having a trauma center. Of course, Muhlenberg doesn't have a trauma center. So then that knocked Muhlenberg out the box, okay, from being one of those hospitals that were providing the essential services. And then it being knocked out of the box through that process, it then went into the list of those hospitals that could be eliminated. So this is some of the things that has happened to target Muhlenberg as a hospital to close. But interestingly enough, we just came back from Trenton, as it was stated. The Health and Senior Services budget meeting took place today. Interestingly enough, in that meeting, the assemblymen who sat in that meeting are confused as to the formulas being used to close down these hospitals. They do not understand. They question the process today. They question what was being considered an essential hospital and a non-essential hospital. They questioned were demographics being looked at. They questioned was anything being looked at other than the books of these hospitals. They became very detailed in their questioning. Sadly, it's sad to say that it took us raising the bar on this issue for them to then come forth now and question the process of how the health commissioner is determining that these hospitals should be closed. So we're very glad today along with that, we want to tell you that we